Hey there, Dominic Steele, Daily Bible Time, Job 32. And we have just had 3 chapters of Job saying, essentially, if I'd done the wrong thing, then it would be reasonable to punish me like this, but I haven't done the wrong thing. And then what happens in chapter 32, a young man appears called Elihu. And he'd been waiting to speak to Job. He was angry with the 3 friends of Job because although they'd condemned Job, they'd failed to refute any of his arguments. Listen to him in verse 12. He says, I paid close attention to you, that's Eliphaz, Bildad and Zophar, yet none of you proved Job wrong. Not one of you refuted his arguments. And Elihu's speech, it goes on for 6 chapters. The first chapter comes across at first as a windy preamble, but Christopher Ash notes there's more going on, and the difference is the source and authority of the message. He points out Elihu speaks with the voice of a prophet, addressing Eliphaz, Bildad and Zophar, whose authority is the traditional worldview of morally serious people. So verse 6 of 32, I'm young in years while you are old, therefore I was timid and afraid to tell you what I know. I thought that age should speak and maturity should teach wisdom. But it is a spirit in man and the breath of the Almighty that give him understanding. It's not only the old who are wise or the elderly who understand how to judge. Therefore I say, listen to me. I too will declare what I know. It is because prophecy is possible that tradition can't claim ultimate authority. And prophecy is possible and necessary. Verse 20, I must speak so that I can find relief. I must open my lips and respond. He actually says it's divinely necessary for me to speak. God has placed in me the words that must be spoken. He starts his speech with an appeal. He wants his address to come to Job as the voice of God and to change Job's heart. He says, I tell you, you are wrong in this matter, since God is greater than man. Why do you take him to court for not answering anything a person asks? And the implication of Job's argument, it had been that God had treated Job unjustly. Elihu's indignant about that. Job says God does not speak to humans. Elihu says he does. So verse 14 of 33, God speaks time and again, but a person may not notice it. In a dream, a vision in the night, when deep sleep falls on people. And then Elihu says God does speak through suffering. 19, a person may be disciplined on his bed in pain, and constant distress in his bones, so that he detests his bread and his soul despises his favourite food. His flesh wastes away to nothing. I've heard this referred to as the pedagogy of pain. In his book, The Problem of Pain, C.S. Lewis famously said, the human spirit will not even begin to try to surrender self-will, as long as all seems to be well with it. Now, error and sin both have this property, that the deeper they are, the less their victim suspects their existence. They are masked evil. Pain is unmasked, unmistakable evil. Every man knows that something is wrong when he's being hurt. We can rest contentedly in our sins, but pain insists on being attended to. God whispers to us in our pleasures, speaks in our conscience, but shouts in our pains. It's his megaphone to rouse a deaf world. More tomorrow on Daily Bible Time, and I hope you'll join us this Sunday at Village Church, 9:30 in the morning or 6 p.m.